Okay.
Oh, we need to all go to your Twitter to make sure.
It says we're live.
Okay, I'm going to your Twitter now.
Okay. But oh my gosh, it was just from Myona Reads. She pretty much just showed us this video of this girl. I know her name, but I'm not gonna say it. And she just was ranting on about like entitlement, and she's tired. She was pretty much saying that this community bends over backwards for you people. And I'm
what
like,
the hell does that mean?
I'm like,
my language.
I'm like, what?
Your comments are disabled for the chat.
Oh no.
Okay.
Go in and enable them so people can respond.
Okay, just go to, let me see.
I'm glad I noticed that.
How do you enable it?
I guess go to the chat thing where you can change things.
Chat
I'm not making any sense. The live chat.
Because I see it says live, and I'm going to like the little thing where it says chat, but
you'll need to do it in your settings, like where you set up the live.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Because I really thought I had made sure the comments were on there.
So as she's doing that, because if you're anything like me, I can't talk and like do things at the same time.
I'm the same way.
There was a huge BookTube drama, and basically, like what she was saying, this girl came on there and was basically saying that she was mad that Black booktubers were talking about how they were underrepresented whenever going to like the Hate You Give event, and just how that led them to do research on BookTube and discover that there's a threshold and that the largest Black booktubers have less than 50,000 subscribers. And this person was basically dismissing all of that and calling them entitled.
Okay, is it? I think I did it.
I don't understand how that makes you. Wow.
Did it work?
I missed a lot today.
I'm refreshing to see if it did.
Okay.
Crossing fingers. It's still loading. We're going to talk about a book. Oh, you should just title this BookTube rant. Everyone will come over here.
Yeah, I should just go ahead and change it too, shouldn't I?
The chat is good.
It's good now?
Yes.
Okay. Should I put like drama on YouTube or BookTube?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It relates to the topic because Felicity faced a lot of crap. She faced some oppression. She faced people telling her that like she didn't have a place in the world and she needed to shut up and stop complaining and just be a lady.
Exactly.
So you know
with everything.
This freaking discussion, it goes with that.
Okay, I changed the title. I put in parentheses recent drama on BookTube. Oh my god. It was just like I had to take a seat when I watched it. I'm like, wow.
Well, seriously, now I have to watch this so I could be pissed off about it too.
She was really prejudiced, but she was not only attacking Black booktubers, she was attacking a lot of things. And then she was talking about there's more issues to talk about than on BookTube. Talk about how, in Black communities, the literacy rate is down and stuff like that. Talk about that. And, they have, their reading level is like a 3rd grade reading level and all this other stuff. I'm like, excuse me?
It's like, what?
She was attacking the Black booktubers. She was attacking the LGBT community. She was attacking Mexicans. It's like,
oh my gosh.
This was going on. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God. That is insane. Yeah, I missed all of that today. I'm kind of glad I did because I'd come in with a really sour mood.
Yeah. Since we just had one viewer.
Oh, well, just me. It probably says 2, so that's me and her.
Okay. We'll just keep on going then.
You know what? It'll work. My video response has been up for like 10 minutes and it's already at 87 people have watched it.
Oh my gosh. It was just crazy because pretty much like Myona, she just put her like herself on blast pretty much and kept her video that she deleted, and she thought that she could get away with what she said.
That's where you got to have one of those moments that's like,
very good response. Yes.
It's like, have you not learned lessons from that guy on BookTube?
It's just, I don't know what's like sense of entitlement and bending over backwards. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, we just come here, you know, just to talk about books, and we, you know, we just want to be accepted. And if people subscribe to us, that's because they like us and they want to see more content from us. It has nothing to do with that. Yes, we do want more diversity, and we do want to have equal things going on, especially the growth in the community, because there's not a lot of growth. And I've seen that, and I've only been on BookTube for 3 months. And, you know, and it's not just Black booktubers. There have been a lot of white booktubers, including yourself, that is also noticing that too. And the growth rate is ridiculous. But a lot of people are saying that, like,
when the people who wouldn't naturally be affected by the issue are noticing it. Like, that's when it's got.
And like lately, people have been doing videos about how to grow your channel. You have to be interactive and all that stuff. So I get that, but it's harder for us to do. We'll be interactive all you want. I'm interactive, and it, you know, it takes time. You know,
it does.
You know, I'm
just kind of, oh wow, I'm just baffled by the whole thing that somebody would actually say that it's an entitlement thing. You know,
and think that they were going to.
It really does sound like she's. Yeah, it sounds like this person is almost trying to get views just by stirring the pot. You know what I'm saying?
I think she thought she was going to be that guy on BookTube, but in the opposite way.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh my God, where did he go? He just disappeared.
He deleted his channel.
Somebody probably reported him. Oh man, I wonder if she's still around. Somebody might report her channel.
No, he left. Like, he actually learned his lesson. He reached out to one of my friends and asked her what he needed to do, and she literally told him, "You need to leave. You need to learn. And you can try to come back."
Oh, wow.
She just said, "You've already ruined yourself. You need to leave until you're forgotten, and then you can try again."
Yeah, he's like, he literally ruined himself on his first video.
It's so sad. It's funny.
Oh, I'm like, wow. I guess no one will accept you after what you said.
Wow. Way to go in with a bang.
There's a foot in the mouth, and then there's putting the whole leg in.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh man, still no one yet.
Well, we'll start talking. They'll watch it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of this, kind of Felicity's journey to medicine practice. Thoughts?
For me, it's just crazy because the book it's in the 1700s, and when the book first started, it was just crazy to me how she was still struggling to do something with medicine. And then on top of that, Colum, is that his name? Colum Doyle, the guy that proposed to her or whatever.
I think so.
He pretty much says that I want to marry you, but you have to pretty much sacrifice. You know, you have to get rid of all this talk about doing medicine and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, it's crazy how back then that women weren't accepted and how we still aren't today. And we're still trying to prove ourselves that we're worthy of being doctors and lawyers and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think it was really interesting when she did that, his finger, his chopped off finger. I think that was
I was a little gored out with that when she was talking, like when they were going into the details, sewing the finger on. I was like, oh God, please stop.
And it's just crazy. She took the initiative to like read books about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that just lets you know how dedicated she was, but still the door kept getting slammed in her face.
Yeah.
And then there's all those times where like just medical wise, her thinking patterns where she's like, oh, you wouldn't want to kill them by stabbing them that way. You want to stab it through the throat too.
I really like that character, Felicity. I know with the first book, I kind of thought Felicity was just a little bit mean.
I thought she was snobby.
Just snobby, exactly. But I was really glad with this particular sequel that you got to see her in a light that kind of explained why she was the way she was. Mm-hmm. And you really got to understand her. And the conversation that she had with Callum at the very beginning of the book, it still kind of resonates to this day with females. If you're in a relationship with a male and you run into the situation where he wants to settle down and get married, sometimes that issue of sacrifice comes up, like, well, I need you at home. I don't need you at the office till 8 o'clock at night. I need you to focus on being a part of this family. So that conversation is still happening to this day. And I found that interesting that it's still something that is repeating throughout history into the present times.
Yeah, because for me, like, I'm not married yet, but we're planning on getting married next year. And we have 2 kids already. And like, he hasn't made the point where I needed to stop, because I work full time and he pretty much supports me. But you do still have men nowadays that have that like mentality that women are just supposed to stay home and just take care of kids and not have any type of goal or drive to do anything. And I find that really weird. But there are some times where there are men out there that aren't like that, but they still have the tendencies to pretty much say the woman has to take care of the kids longer or, more than a male does in a way. Yeah. And I think, my fiance, he does that now and then. I don't think he notices, but he does have that time where he thinks like that. So
I think there's also like sometimes men do the roles too in a way that can affect them. Mm-hmm. So like this intense pressure to provide. And I think it goes back somewhat to like biblical times with like the roles that were there, because there wasn't a need for like 2 people to work. Mm-hmm. I think that if you have a relationship where the guy's like, I want to be supportive, I want to be like the one who's providing for your every need, I think that that's fine. But if that person wants to work, want a career, then they need to give it. Like,
I want my own money.
Yeah. I need my own money for my books.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And I told him though, when he makes enough, I'm done.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Write me books. I ain't gonna work. I'm at work 20 hours, and that's gonna be like my book fund.
That sounds good to me. Sounds like a plan.
Write novels and just work like 20 hours a week for book money and vacation money. That's like heaven right there. Petitioning the board. Like, did y'all get riled up? Because I freaking got riled up.
Yes. I'm like, they did not take her seriously at all. They laughed in her face.
Yeah. Sorry. This is new.
Hi.
I have funny quotes for it, so I will look those up. You go ahead and say what you're going to say. I just wanted to say I had funny quotes.
Okay. I was really keyed up when I was reading that segment and getting upset because, I mean, back then they considered women like her, the very ambitious kind of women, crazy sometimes. Sometimes they'll throw them inside an asylum, and, I mean, that poor person would have to stay there for the rest of their life and have to deal with that. And
like look at Percy. They were trying to do that just because he was sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It's just it just baffles my mind thinking, that was a reality. That was a reality for Felicity at one point. She could have easily been thrown in asylum and forgotten about because she was just a very bold person to deal with.
Yeah, but she also had her name. I think the name probably helped her a little bit.
Definitely, yes.
Oh yeah, it took me a second. I was like, Felicity, how is that special?
Yeah, her last name Montague. Yeah, her dad is like some lord or something.
Yeah. It's like now they would just call us the B word, or they'll say we're too masculine, or whatever the case may be. But I have some funny quotes for all of you who are on the fence about if you should read this book and if it's as funny as Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think my nerves so weak and fragile that I could not handle the sight? The women on the streets of London witnessed more death and dying in a single day than you likely have in your lifetime. That was not funny, but like... Well then, you might consider covering up table legs, lest the mere reminder of the existence of the female form send your students into an erotic frenzy. Y'all weren't laughing, but these are funny.
I'm shaking my head. I'm just like,
really funny.
Oh, this is the best one when she's telling them like the reasons why she should be a doctor, and she's like, "There's things that you can't explore. You don't have the know-how that I do." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "I'm talking about menstruation, sir."
Yes, I like that one. That one got me like in tears.
Oh.
Men do not know how that feels. Oh my god.
They actually did this test and they put like a simulator on guys' stomachs, and the guys were whining like babies, asking for like meds and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, "This is just regular cramps. This isn't even like cramps."
We go through that. Like sometimes women go through this twice a month, depending on how their body is.
God.
And it's really hard because it depends on how some women, they can't even work because it's painful.
Oh yeah. My sister had that. She always had to call out from school and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like men take it. It's like I wish they went through something.
It's like, God, the interior walls of like your uterus are ripping apart as this little thing, this little egg, like just goes through this tiny tube. Just imagine passing a kidney stone every month.
And then childbirth. Oh my god!
Except it don't happen in a day. It takes a whole week.
Like I wish I couldn't have a period anymore.
See, I wouldn't feel natural without one. Like it's just one of those experiences where it's like, okay, I need to have this every month.
Yeah, just for me, I had my kids. I'm done. I don't want to, I don't want to go through this anymore.
Oh man! All right, last funny quote for this section because there's more, but this is just for this topic. I also want to cry or shout that I hope all their genitals sprout wings and fly away, or perhaps travel back in time to the start of the meeting and go about this whole thing differently. I want to shut up the small, nasty voice in my head whispering that maybe they're right, and maybe I'm unsuited for this, and maybe I am hysterical. Because even though I don't think I am, it's hard to be raised in a world where you're taught to always believe what men say without doubting yourself at every step.
Wow. Yeah, that one was a very powerful passage.
That was definitely powerful.
And it, like I said before, it resonates with today even. Just like there's been times that I've even questioned myself as somebody inside my office, a female, when a male's talking down to me and saying, "Well, are you sure we should do it this way?"
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. It's something that we have to deal with as women on a daily basis.
This book made me realize things that I didn't realize that we still suffered with.
Yeah.
Think about those things.
And, it's just crazy.
Right.
It's like, is it going to even get better? I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's what the Me Too movement is. I feel like that's the breaking point where we start to realize everything and we start fighting.
Yeah.
In a good way.
I think that's what's happening in BookTube now with everything. It started with everything that's happening.
We are wild. We are ready. We're starting political parties. Doing everything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. And then there was the time when Felicity, she decided to come back home and went to like stay with Percy and Monty.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She was just talking about their place.
Monty was like, "There's a lot less cockroaches than there were in the winter." He's like, "Now we just have field mice."
And you know what? I forgot about his hearing. I was like, oh, I forgot this what happened in the first book. I forgot he can partially hear one ear.
She was talking about scars. She was talking about scars, and I was like, "Is this a new character?" And I just read Gentleman's Guide last month.
So did I.
Oh my gosh. So we already talked about the marriage proposal. So what do you think about Monty being like a hustler who no longer drinks? Is that a surprise?
I'm surprised for me being a hustler, because what does he know about hustling? He's privileged his whole life. You know what I mean? So can you imagine his first time doing that? He probably like, what am I doing?
I'm glad you said that because I felt the same way.
He knows how to get drunk, and he knows how to get other people drunk and to make them have a good time. So he just gets them super loose, and he's the only sober one, so he automatically wins.
Oh my God.
And he is very persuasive. It's like the dude has a silver tongue. He could talk to anybody into doing anything.
Yeah. It's just he has to work for money, and it's like, it's interesting he chose that route.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So let's talk about humor. Do you think it was as funny as Gentleman's Guide, or like how did it differ for you? That sort of thing.
I don't know. I think it was a little bit. I think the first book was a little bit more funny, and this book was more personal for me.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I think you explained that just right, Brandy, because I felt the same way too. Like, the first book was really humorous. It had a great sense of humor. And then as I started reading the second book and just realizing her struggle as a female, it was so easy to relate. It was so easy to feel a connection to her, because, we've all been there at one point or another.
Yeah. There were some funny parts, though.
Yeah, there was.
Especially with her friend, oh God, I forget her name, when she talked about she had blood on her dress because she didn't know she started her menstrual.
Oh, yeah.
Part,
like, I thought that was like, oh, but that's real, because we do go through that. We have to like, oh my gosh, am I leaking? Am I like bleeding? And no one stressful to think like that.
No one ever puts that in a book, so it's like when they do, it's great.
Yeah. It is. I was like, wow, she's really. I'm glad she brought this up, because that is just like when we're on our menstrual and we're like sitting down, we're like wondering, oh my gosh, am I leaking right now? I hope I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Well, just imagine this: they did not have pads and tampons back then.
Yeah, I wanted to know if she was going to give detail about what she like wore, or what they had for that. Did they just put a cloth down there?
Probably. I know that there used to be like people would sew cotton to a leaf, but that sounds kind of weird. I feel like that was Oprah Winfrey. Like, I'd read a book with her talking about it. And she had like a corn cob doll, and I don't know where I heard the leaf with the.
Oh God!
Yeah. And then for some reason, I was thinking about The Handmaid's Tale and what they used when they were on their periods, and what they did was just put a towel under.
Oh God!
That was it, and then changed their towel. I'm like, what did they wear? I was even thinking of Little House on the Prairie. What did they? What did they have?
You covered all the bases.
Yes.
Golly. Well, in the old times, they just put them in this thing called the red tent, and they would just bleed into a pool.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's really disturbing.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Go to the red tent.
Oh my God.
Just labeled this video periods in the 1700s. Oh my gosh. Okay, so back to humor. So I did think that this book was funny. Obviously not as funny as the first book, but I think it's a different kind of humor. It's almost like a dark humor. She reels you in with something super funny at the beginning, and then she hits you with like the real hard truth. And that's what I noticed when I was reading the quotes out loud. I was like, wow, this isn't funny at all. Like, it's so funny, but it's so not funny.
Yeah, it's like real. It's like reality for us women.
She reels you in and tricks you. Funny, and you read the rest of my paragraph. Oh no, life sucks.
And then, like, the interesting part is when she went on the outing with Percy and Monty with the crew from the last book, the first book.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was like, it sounded from how she described it, she felt like out of place.
Oh.
Oh man.
I have another passage for the next topic. I think a lot of people in the last book were concerned that she was going to have no character growth, and they felt like she was kind of very unaccepting of her brother and Percy. I saw it as her just being a realist, so I kind of saw the version that we see of her in this book, in the past book. Like, I could see through it, if that makes sense. But here's a passage for that for all of you who are wondering if she's made any changes. And this is at the beginning of the book, too. It has taken me, admittedly, a time to reconcile the idea that Percy and Monty seem to have found honest affection for each other. And what I was taught was the sin of all sins. Perhaps the distance helped, or at least gave me space to ponder it and make my peace with it, and move from cringing tolerance to something nearer to understanding that their love is probably truer than most of the pairings I saw growing up. Anyone who put up with my brother certainly would not be doing it unless they really sincerely loved him, and Percy's the sort of decent lad who actually might. When stripped of the illegalities and the biblical condemnation, their attraction is no stranger to me than anyone's attraction to anyone. So...
yeah, she sounds like she's accepting, but then the scene where, what's her name, Sim?
Yeah.
The girl, they kissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were just sort of being judgmental a little bit. Now you're sort of stepping, it's the...
Getting to think that she was actually going to, like, be with Sim. Did y'all think that?
I thought so, too. I'm like, oh, girl, you better go ahead.
The reactions, the way that she would describe Sim sometimes, I was like, well. She would like describe like her hard look, like Sim would give her like a hard gaze, and I was like, oh, there's tension. But I'd also get that with Joanna, and I'm like, do I not know how to read like relationships without relationships?
I got the same feeling too with Joanna also. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if Lee is going to be coming out with like maybe a third book focusing a little bit further on that, because I feel like there was a lot of items unresolved. I really want to see what happened next between Sim and Felicity, or Joanna and Felicity, whichever the case may be.
That's so true, because they gave it a close, but at the same time, it was open enough to have another book.
Yeah, because Joanna became married, or whatever, I believe. They got married, and he's still alive. He didn't get killed, or they didn't specify that at the end. I heard I don't know. I think he got captured or something like that. I forget.
I don't know either. The ending is kind of forgettable. Some of the details.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Joanna's still married to this lunatic.
I didn't even remember the wedding. I just remembered that she said she'd marry him if he didn't.
Yeah, they signed papers. I think.
Maybe that
was do anything for that pet.
They didn't have an official ceremony, I'm guessing, and that's why I don't remember it.
Yeah, maybe she might go into like Sim's type of perspective.
Someone pointed out in the Gentleman's Guide live show that the series is called like the Montague siblings, so I don't actually think we're going to get another
Probably not. That probably was it then.
But it would be interesting to see what happened there with those two. Because like I said, I just felt like we didn't get that resolution between Sim and Felicity, but
I wanted more from Sim, but
exactly,
we got a little bit of her, especially like with her upbringing and how her father really wasn't accepting her, and because she was a girl and all this stuff, and she had other brothers. But I wanted to get a little bit more connection. But I understand this book was pretty much for Felicity.
Yeah.
So So,
but she just sounds like such an intriguing character, even if it's something that is not necessarily involving the Montagues anymore. It'd be so neat to see a perspective on Sim and just get to know her a little more as a character.
yeah. Oh, no.
So, what about? So we already kind of mentioned that Felicity was asexual. So, did y'all have any thoughts on that?
It was kind of refreshing, in the sense that a lot of books, especially YAs nowadays, there has to be a relationship established somewhere. It was kind of nice to see that this character did not have any desire to have any sort of relationship, that she was looking just to continue on, pursue her goal in a case like this. So I don't know. I personally found it very refreshing not to have to worry about a relationship mixed up with everything else in between.
Yeah, I agree, because usually there's always type of love triangle or something in a YA book.
Yeah.
And she
they could have made one and I would have shipped it.
Yeah. She was just focusing on her goal just to do medicine. Maybe after she does that, who knows? But for some reason, I think her and Sim, if there ever was a third book, I think her and Sim probably would end up, I think it's a given. I think it's a given.
She's like, well,
I think she likes Sim, but she didn't know how to approach that situation. She's like, I need to just focus on one thing, and then, if something comes up, then we'll do something. Who knows? I don't know.
I liked it.
It's like mysterious to me in a way.
Yeah.
So like with the ace, it's like a spectrum. So it's not just like what Felicity is. So Felicity is like aloe-ace, which basically means she doesn't have any sexual attraction at all, and she doesn't really feel the need for any of that. Like there's just not a desire there, or at least that's what I got from this book, from like the details in the book, because I haven't done like a ton of research on like aloe-asexual. Me, I'm like a demisexual, but I can also float closer to like the very, very extremely indifferent. That's kind of where I've been for the past few years. So there's some things in here where like, because I am on the ace spectrum, like I don't get the never having a crush part, because I used to have crushes all the time. I don't get that. But like whenever she referenced the kiss, and she's like, there's like spit. It's weird. Like, why?
She's very clinical about it.
Relate. I have a quote, and I don't know if it's after the kiss or not. I think it's about what she wanted in life and how. See, the thing that Mackenzi Lee does is she has these things that she tries to put about. So there was like the ableism that was kind of challenged in the first book. And then in this book, she's challenging the notion that like you have to be in a relationship to have happiness in life. Like that should be a goal that you have. And what she does is she never actually tells the people that are saying negative things that they're wrong, but she does question them further to make them think through her characters. And I love that. So here's Felicity's kind of response about like, no, I have other plans for happiness. And she says, I think I want a house of my own. I start the words of discovery as they leave my mouth. Something small, so I don't have much housework, but enough room for a proper library. I love books. I want a lot of books and a good old dog to walk with me and a bakery to go to every morning where they know my name. And you don't want anyone with you? Sim asked, raising her head. No family? I want friends. Good friends that make up a different kind of family. That's lovely. It wouldn't be lovely, I say. I'd like to be my own. Wow. It's so weird because it didn't say lovely. She said that sounds lonely. And then Felicity says, it wouldn't be lonely. I'd be like my own. Wow. I'd like to be on my own, but not alone. That's not the sort of lonely I meant. Oh. All Sim was thinking about was bow chicka wow wow.
But you can imagine. I feel like when the character Sim, she was a little bit more masculine too.
Yeah.
Especially when they were trying to like escape and they were trying to get away from Monty. She's like, "Go tell somebody to punch him in the face."
Oh my gosh, the evasion scene was the best.
Yes.
And then the drunk guy like runs into the wrong person.
That was funny.
Like, oh my gosh. So let's talk about her relationship with Johanna and how that kind of changed over time and like girl hate, like challenged girl hate, because I feel like that was another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's just weird. She was going to her wedding and they didn't even talk because they had like a little like horrible like turnout. And if I was Joanna and if a person that I don't even like no more just came to my door, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I did not receive. I thought Joanna was like, what the hell are you doing here? We haven't talked for years. Like, what the fuck? and
that would have been my reaction.
Yeah, but Joanna seems so welcoming. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is normal. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Just show up on my doorstep and haven't even heard from you for like some years.
Yeah. And like,
I just think that was unrealistic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That she just welcomed her in.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I guess it was just kind of like that feeling of loss because it was kind of like an abrupt end to the friendship. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they also had mutual guilt about it. Like, I feel like both of them kind of blamed each other. So Felicity blamed her for not wanting to like do things and being all rough and tumble. And then Johanna blamed Felicity because she felt like Felicity was judging her for wanting to be more feminine and do all of these like girly things. So I feel like the mutual guilt is probably why.
Yeah, that's a good point, because initially when I read that particular passage, I thought the same thing as well, Brandy. Like, why the heck are you being so welcoming? You know, you're like you're getting ready to break out another glass and a plate and let this person they haven't seen in several years re-enter your life.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you bring up a good point because of the guilt. And also just the fact that Joanna had experienced 2 losses so far between her father and her mother passing away. Maybe she didn't want to lose out on something that had potential of being reborn again.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Connection to the past.
Yeah.
I felt the passage where she kind of said something. She said, whenever she's talking to Felicity. So one of them, she had said, like, the only girls who say that. Sorry, I like was going to tell you a later one, but then I was like, no, I want to tell you the first one too. The only girls who talk like that are the ones who assume there are no other women like them in the world.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, but she made it very clear you thought me less of a woman because I don't care about balls and card parties and boys and ridiculous blue dresses. She flexed her arms. Well, you seem to think I was less of a person because I did. They're like both challenging each other.
Oh man. I don't know. To be honest, it was just a disagreement. I think they were younger, so I don't know. And Felicity, I feel like she knew what she wanted to do, but she still didn't know how to even pursue what she wanted to do. And then Joanna, like you said, she has lost so much, so she's trying to gain something in her life. Mm-hmm. But she seemed to get a little tougher at the end of the book.
Yeah, she did. I like that side of Joanna. I wanted to keep that.
Yeah.
Was she the one who decided to sew the map into the petticoat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Freaking smart.
And I'm like, man, I can't sew to save my life. So kudos to that. I was like, whoa, good job.
And then they're like evading the English army because the English army wants these dragon scales. And then there's even this part where like Sim is telling her why the dad is like trying to protect the area. Like the pirates are trying to protect the area so that people won't come and kill the dragons, because the dragon scales have this like euphoric effect and everything. And then other people want it so that they can create this kind of like medicine that can cure people.
Like weed.
I was literally talking to my mother-in-law about that earlier today. She was talking about how they needed to hurry up and make it legal for medical use, because that's just insane that like cancer patients can't use it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were talking about that, so that's funny. Oh,
It's true though. Like,
I got off track. So my point with that was, Sim was trying to tell her like why they were protecting it, and then she's like, well, you know, we could take a couple of scales from the one and we could create the serum. She's like, it'll be all right. And Sim's just like,
it's just crazy because when you see the dead dragon like on the beach or whatever, I thought Joanna was like gonna be really disgusted, like, oh my god, ew, no.
Get away.
But she used to play doctor too.
But I think it was really cool that they brought about like a live dragon or whatever. I thought that was neat. But I wish we saw they brought the live dragon back. Like, what happened to the dragon after they just left it?
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember any of that.
Exactly. They didn't even bring it back up.
They took the scales. If you're talking about the beach scene, they took the scales. Then the English army came.
Yeah, that one was that was the dragon's mother that was dead on the beach.
Oh.
And so they see the other dragon that's just in this little pool of water, and then they just leave it. So I was wondering what happened to that dragon.
I guess
they left that out.
And then the last thing that I put on here was, let's talk about meeting her idol and how he's like such a disappointment. He's just like sitting there taking some kind of drug. He's like, we got all doped up before my wedding. Oh man.
And that's the thing, he wasn't even looking for somebody actually.
He just wanted the research.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted from Johanna. But then it also sounds like he didn't do a lot of the research. Like he stole it from Johanna's mom.
Her mom did all that. So it was just weird how he just went to the lengths to try to like marry Joanna just so he had the entitlement to get all her stuff. But he already claimed it and put his name on the stuff already.
Crazy.
Like when they went into that little area where they saw the posters and it was by him and not her mom and all the stuff, like the pictures that she had like sketched or whatever.
Oh yeah.
His name was on him, not hers. So
which makes me think she didn't get much credit at all.
No, she probably none.
Or she didn't get any credit for being like a cartographer or whatever you call it, or drawing stuff. She did get some credit for something because it was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she was like a famous naturalist, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just tragic how she died.
Yeah,
very sad.
Out some stuff and risked her life.
But it also sounds like she was kind of the bad guy too.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I can feel like really
run into your territory and steal dragon skills.
What makes her different from Felicity and Sim though when they were trying to do the same thing? Like as far as making the medicine and stuff.
Well, I think they were just going to use the dead one, but
they weren't even supposed to take any scales at all.
I mean, I think if the animal's dead, it's dead. But no, I know what you're saying, because one of the dangers was if they took it, then people would try to find more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like they're all kind of like gray characters at the end.
It's like, so they have to wait for another dragon to die to get some more scales.
I guess so. I don't know what they're going to do.
That sounds terrible.
Hopefully they'd only need like the 2 scales they collected, and that would be all they need.
You know, the most interesting thing was the battle that they had on with the ships and everything.
Oh, I remember what they thought that they could do is reverse engineer the scales, so they weren't going to use the dragons.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
That's how they're different from the mother.
Yeah, but it was crazy to stop the guy. They're like, Sim had to make a negotiation with her dad and
Oh
Yeah.
stuff. And like, okay, we'll let you have this map. No, we want both maps. We don't want you to know anything about this. I'm like, what kind of negotiation is that?
You had cut out, so all I heard was they made a negotiation, and then I didn't.
Oh yeah, they made a negotiation, you know, for one person to have one map and someone have the other, but he wanted both.
Oh
he didn't want no one maps at all, and I'm like, well, that's not a negotiation. What did they get out of this? Oh, man.
So I'm sure we all. Seems like we all kind of had the same thoughts on the book then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I did find it interesting with Dr. Platt how we run into this theme again with the female, you know, with the issues that women have to fight on a regular basis, how he just wanted Felicity to be a secretary and he was using that as a vice, or how he took Joanna's mother's work and made it his own. I mean, you hear about that so often, so it was really personal to have to read that again in this book, and oh god, it made me hate him even more. I was so enraged with him. I'm like, you are just a junkie jerk.
And also with Felicity, like she seemed like she was really badass, but in the last snippet of the book with her letter to Callum, I thought it showed her softer side, you know.
Yeah.
I think she cared about him, but not to the point where she wanted to marry him.
He did, because like he was a good man, and it's not that he didn't want her to succeed, but it's like he felt like she didn't need to have that for happiness. Like he would be all that she needed. And so he was like, well, you know, we don't have to wait for all these things to happen. You don't have to go to this other place to go to school because, you know, we can have a life here together.
Yeah. And I guess his intentions were good. You know, I mean, even for back then, it was probably
the best you could ask for.
Yeah. I mean, it was typical to expect a woman to be in the house. That was just a part of life. So, I mean, his intentions were good, but I could see why Felicity was just a little bit ticked off about it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with like Felicity. Like I know I read that passage, but she still uses terminology that would be indicative of that time period.
Yeah.
So you know that she's made a change, but she's still using that societal standard in order to express the way that she currently feels. That makes sense.
And also, go ahead.
Here.
But also, like with their father, I did not know that he was acting like they were just somewhere doing their own thing. Like,
did he say that they got kidnapped? Like he told people they got? Did he?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. And to be honest, I thought Felicity was going to go back home for a little bit first, but I guess she went to Edinburgh instead. Yeah. I'm like, okay, she must be going home after the tour, but no, she went. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they all just kind of said, screw it.
Yeah, because she does bring about her financial issues. How am I going to get to this place? I'm broke.
And we never find out for sure if those people in Gentleman's Guide were killed or not.
That's right. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
We never saw them again. Yeah. What if they show up later in the book? The bad guys are back.
It might have been in that little book, like if you pre-ordered the book, you got that digital one or something.
Oh, apparently that one's just about the first time they have sex. That's the whole.
That was it. Oh, okay. Oh. I didn't even get it because I was like, I don't think I would care much for it.
Pre-order to get it, so you can't even get it now if you wanted to, which is sad because I I bought the first book, and then I got an ARC of the second one, so I didn't get the goodie. But I got the free book, so I mean, I can't.
I mean, shoot, if I get an ARC, that's the book. Like, I know some people want the hardcover, but I was like, I'm not spending another money on a book that I already have.
Yeah.
I will do my review. I will do my video review, and I will tell people to go buy it.
I'm like, yeah, the book cover is nice and everything, but I already got a copy. I need to spend my money on a book I don't have.
Yeah, I only bought the physical book twice. Once it was in a book box, and it came with 2 other books, and it was a Beth Revis book, and I did enjoy the book, and I did want to reread it at some point. So I was like, okay, we'll get this. And that was A World Without You. And then the second one was Victoria Schwab's The Savage Song. I read the arc of it before she had like a book event, and then you had to bring that book in order to get it signed. I was like, well, I want her signature, so I bought the book.
I haven't read any of her books yet. I'm so scared.
Oh, you should. They're so good.
I was so scared too, because like I had already met her several times. And I was like, what if I hate it?
Yeah, that's one thing I was like, oh.
I would do this Savage Song because I don't think it's intimidating at all. She kept saying it was like the darkest thing she'd ever written, and I was like, this isn't dark, at least not to me. Like, it was just good. Like, it was good. And it was fast paced. And there's only like 2 characters that you have to keep up with, so it's really easy to read. It was 400 pages, and I read it in like a day.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did pick up a copy of that.
Page. So that's really fast.
And also, isn't there another book similar to this one? It says The Guide to Treason and
yes, that's coming. I think that's coming out this month or next month.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, the title is so close.
I thought you were talking about. Oh gosh, I thought you were talking about this book. This is older.
No, it was
called Love Lies Spies.
No, it was. I'm about to look it up. It comes out like recent. I think it came out already, or it's about to come out.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe that's the new thing. It's like spies mixed with paranormal. But this one, now that I'm holding it up while you're looking at it, I only read 2 chapters, but I do.
Yeah, okay.
Like
it's
this
called.
Series, love it.
It's called An Assassin's Guide to Love and Treason. By Virginia Boker. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, like
yeah, that's what I saw last night too when I was going through my Amazon account. It was a recommended read. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think they're trying to like assassinate Queen Elizabeth or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I don't know. You already took the title idea.
I don't know how I feel about this.
So, like, they all have different publishing people.
But they had to see it. Like, okay, what title can I use? You know, that specific title.
I mean, the other thing is they get selected like 18 months before the book ever gets published. Because they have a year putting it together and then 6 months just for promotion. So... But yeah, for them to come out back to back with similar titles.
Yeah, like, you think somebody's going to buy this book because he's so close to everything else?
They might. I mean, have you heard about the Cockygate scandal?
No.
What is that?
Where this author decided to trademark the word cocky so that no one else could put it in the title of their book.
Oh my God.
And then she sent cease and desist letters to everyone that had it in their title. And she was not the first author to have it in her title. So she basically just said, screw you, I have a monopoly on this word.
Wow. It's crazy how people can try to like pretty much say they own this word. I think that's crazy.
And she started suing people. And the thing is, anyone with common sense knows that you cannot trademark a common word.
Like if I say cocky, am I going to prison?
That'd be like me trademarking the word shoe. No. Oh my gosh. So people started suing her. And I don't know what the final result was, but basically what she was actually trying to trademark was that name with that specific font. Like that's what the trademark agreement was for. And for like a series title for that specific genre or something like that. And but I don't think that she could really prove her case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow.
Honey, do you know what happened with Cockygate? Did she lose? I don't know. That was like the one time I kept messaging Philip DeFranco and I was like, please talk about Cockygate. And he never did. Next time I'll just message Shane Dawson. Maybe he'll do it. Cockygate research. Do a docu-series.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
So, should we look and close this out by returning to the BookTube scandal and seeing what the results currently are on BookTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to go look at her video and see how many people have watched it now.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at myself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really like, oh man. I just think it's crazy. Like,
I mean, it's great.
Like, look at yourself and like look like, because you could tell she edited the video, but obviously, I'm like, man, you should have really thought twice before you decided to, upload your video. But.
Oh yeah, I think she thought it was like righteous indignation, and that everyone was going to agree with her, and they were going to resonate with it. And it's like, no, hun.
133 views.
What?
You got 133 views.
I do?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Serious? Oh my god. Oh, it's all positive. I was thinking, okay, I'm a white girl talking about this issue. I'm gonna get some dislikes, but no, like they're positive. Yes. Well, I wanted to know about her though. I was looking at mine too.
I need to wait. Let me go back to Twitter. I need to find out. I forget what her name was, so I can look up her.
I can never hold it in my head either, but I have her link on my video, so I'm gonna look. Her name is Mavana Reed.
Who?
Really pretty. Mavana Reeds or Mayana Reeds. I didn't scroll down far.
Oh yeah, Mayana. Let me look at her. Yeah, let me look at hers.
Wow.
She has 325 views.
Go, girl! Rock it! It better blow up. People need to hear. Then people hopefully will get the you better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, she has like 81 comments. Everything they're positive too.
She has what?
Like she has a lot of comments, like from
Sophisticated
Books and this. Everybody's like shocked. Everybody's like, I haven't watched the original video and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know. She just got so aggressive. I'm like, you need to calm down. It's just like, and I'm sick and tired. It was like, whoa.
It's like it's great that it's getting recognition, but it's also sad that we have to talk about it at all.
Yeah, like she probably feels like we're attacking her, but I don't think it's an attack. It's us just pretty much the energy she pretty much gave off. So I don't know what she expected out of this, but I don't know if anybody's gonna like her after this. But that
you
is just
forget. Yeah, people aren't gonna. No.
It's just like you messed up. You attacked all the minorities, like literally, in one video. And I don't know. It just bothered me. Yeah. Like I constantly cause Mayana, she like pretty much she's right here, and she's so like.
Now we get to my favorite type of entitlement: the booktubers who blame the racism in BookTube for the fact that they aren't successful. All right. I'm not a nice person.
Yeah, we know.
She started with, I'm a nice person, but in BookTube, everyone's nice. And then I'm like, then why are you on BookTube? You're not nice. Well, you're not nice. Then why are you part of the BookTube?
Did she have this live underneath her bridge?
I'm like, what?
Live from under the bridge.
Well, I did my video from the toilet.
Yeah, I saw that just now, and I'm like dying over here.
Oh my god.
That's where that talk belongs. Oh my gosh.
And she was, and then she kept going on talking about you need to be considering talking about how you're gonna change your communities so they can be better. Like, okay, I was like, excuse me, there's nothing like, especially because in Columbus, our Columbus schools are terrible, and we don't, and a lot of us don't have options where our kids can go due to the fact all these other schools are expensive, and I feel like that has a lot to do with the states. To be honest, it's like out of our control. Yes, we'll do our best to help the community, but on top of that, where some people are lower class or middle class, and they don't even like some of them are single mothers. Like, you got to think of all aspects on everything on every level. And for me, it's like I don't even want to take my daughter to a public school due to the fact that that's been happening, especially with all these shootings.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna put her in a private school. It's just. And when it comes to like the literacy rate and everything, that takes the effect that some of these teachers or even like the school programs aren't really helping the kids out like they should due to the fact that they're not getting funded by the state or anything.
And the thing with the state is it's because the funding is dictated by the way that they do on the test scores, and tests have statistically had a positive bias towards like native English speakers who have always been English speakers for like the past 20 generations. You know what I mean? Like, there's negative bias against those types of tests. Like, that's been proven that there's that bias there. And it's like, well, how do you expect it to get better if you're using the standard that's already been proven to suck in order to determine who's going to get funding?
Mm-hmm. And with all these other schools, they get funded due to the fact of what city they're in. Like, they are great schools and great programs, but it's out of the city. So it's not like a kid can go there. And that's why some, people or mothers just try to forge their address. And I think last year, a woman is in jail for 5 years because she provided a false address on where she lived for her son to go to a better school and to get a better education.
It's because of taxing, but it's so unfair. It's like, I know that you pay your city tax, and like that's why, because it's going to those school systems. Mm-hmm. But it's jacked up when you have a school where they don't even have a textbook, and then you've got a freaking school where they give everyone a Surface Pro, and they take that home and do all of their assignments and have like, their built-in Wi-Fi sticks. Mm-hmm. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I just feel like with this video that this girl did on BookTube, she doesn't even know the gist of what she's talking about.
And then the other asinine part of that is she brings up the situation with the school system, assuming that all Black people are underprivileged.
It's like, excuse me, I have a degree in history. You need to watch yourself, okay? Like, I'm educated. I read really well. It's like, and she made it seem like the minority just really are terrible. They have no type of class. They have no type of money, and they need all this help. It's like, there's a lot of us that are very, we have an education. We're just like everyone else. Don't just sit there because of my color of the skin. You think that I'm dumb and not educated and don't have sense. It's just like she was targeting like Mexicans, and it was just disgusting. It was very distasteful. I just like, oh my God. It's like she's very ignorant. All of it was ignorance.
The 2 minutes was enough. Oh, God.
And I was like, who are you specifically talking to? I was really like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to the whole black booktubers right now?
We should hashtag that as I revolt to be like in your face. Oh, man. I love it too, because I feel like by talking about it and by saying things that way, it's bringing the right people together.
Yeah.
And someone said she was like, she was doing something weird with like her terminology when she was referring to people.
Yeah, it's just crazy. She couldn't even say all her words right. She couldn't even say manipulative right.
Oh my God.
She's like, it's manipulative. And I'm like, girl, learn to speak. If you want to try to like attack somebody, try to like get yourself together.
Here's what made me laugh, and I tweeted this, and a couple people liked it on Twitter because they found the irony with it too. And this was on the girl that we were talking about earlier. I hate that I can't remember her name because she's awesome, but I feel like her Twitter name's different. But anyway, I was like, yeah, she says this while culturally appropriating another culture's clothing.
I'm about to change the title real quick since we're done with the ladies' guide thing. So hold on, I'm about to change it.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you just put like that girl on BookTube.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God, it's crazy.
It's so sad that you have to laugh at it because it's just like, what else do you do? You know?
Oh wow! I'm
gonna sneak into the other room because I told my husband to bring home food, and he got home late, so I think he did. He didn't tell me once he brought it in, so I'm gonna go sneak and see while he's in the shower. This will be a mukbang.
Oh my God, oh man,
wow.
And I really want to do a video about it, but I don't know how I'm gonna. I'm sort of nervous.
Yeah, I agree. I understand that.
Because I'll probably just
I'm just in shock.
Yes, like it's just ridiculous. It's like she had the nerve to say this. Like, it's mind blowing. It's like the one place where I try to be stress free. I'm still with drama.
Seriously, like that's the main reason why I even signed up for this gig, so to speak. And like ever since, there's been some sort of drama or another, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's just like, wow. I don't know.
Oh wow. Apparently there's people that's retweeting the deleted video that she posted.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I heard comments. What were you saying?
Like people are pretty much retweeting her video around.
Good. They need to. It needs to be watched and enjoyed.
Yeah. And I went to the girl that did the video, and right now she has 118 subscribers.
What? Wait, what happened?
Yeah, the girl that did the video, she just has 118 subscribers.
Oh, what did she have before?
I don't know. I think it might have been a little bit higher, and I think it's
that's what I'm thinking too. I thought that was like at least 300.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if she's ever going to come back. I don't think she wants to.
You should do a blog where no one sees her face. So they don't. Okay, so Bookish Paradise says, I feel like I'm really late. What did this booktuber say? Basically, well, y'all can take it. I'm going to take a bite of the sandwich.
Go for it.
This is my tea.
Something currently happened on Twitter? I wonder.
Oh, no, she was asking.
Oh. Okay. What was the question?
About what the booktuber said.
Oh, my gosh. It's a lot that she said. Like, I'm just going to let y'all hear it. How about that? Crazy. Oh, let me get my son real quick because he's having a moment.
He's mad too.
Do you like turkey and ham? I like turkey and ham. And it's oh yeah. And Gouda cheese. Oh, yum. And the best part is that my mother-in-law paid for it.
okay, but I know you're upset because I'm upset.
Oh, he likes the camera. He's just like, as soon as the camera's in view.
Yeah. He's like, stop pissing off my mom.
Hey, KJ. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Bye.
Oh my gosh. I have to keep replaying this video because it bothers me. It baffles me, to be honest.
Should we do a live reaction to the rest of it?
Oh, God.
Hold on, bud. Mama's trying to do this video.
But I am. Because I'm not a nice person, and I'm sick and tired of people like this framing BookTube in a bad way. Because they're calling people throughout BookTube, one of the most inclusive and welcoming communities on this platform, racist. The community that literally goes out of their way, bends over backwards to welcome minorities, gay, bi, ace, all of those kind of different things on this community. There are small Black booktubers. There are big Black booktubers. I recently beta read for one of those women. She is one of my favorite booktubers, and I was delighted to get the opportunity to beta read.
I have a feeling she said she beta read for one of the bigger Black booktubers.
I don't know who that was exactly.
Yeah. Francina Simone. She's the biggest one. She's the biggest one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that she was the biggest one. Like, I still thought she was like, it's like popular booktubers, but still like middle range, you know?
Oh, hold on.
Aww. He's just upset. I agree. I'm upset with it too. It's okay, buddy.
Hello. 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 What are you doing? It's your name. You're not listening. Go again.
Yeah, what are you talking about? It.
Can't understand.
I was thinking that was Brandy doing baby talk, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of soothing.
Is Mackenzi talking?
I think that's her daughter.
That's my daughter.
I didn't know Mackenzi talk. He's like 9 years old.
I thought you were baby talking. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice.
No, it's there. It's just like right there.
Okay, so talking of baby talking, so yesterday, for some reason, I stumbled into an ASMR video. Oh, I know what it was. Because the same video that we were talking about, not the bad one, but the other one, he had made an ASMR video. And I was like, you did so good because it's so cringy. I'm like, hey, you're talking about tingles, and I'm like, what? And I thought they just meant because it sounds very sexual, but no. Like the ASMR apparently gives people like physical tingles. And that's why they watch those videos.
Oh my God. That's disturbing.
And I was like, okay. And then I proceeded to watch one that said, if you're a tingle virgin. I was like, yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, God.
They make me laugh. Like, those videos just make me laugh. Like, let me crunch this pickle. Princess here. Oh, love you.
You.
Hey. Oh, man. Well, Princess, I'm fine. I went on a love fest about you in my video looking at I love you.
Oh man, I want to see when I wake up tomorrow. What's gonna happen?
Oh God.
Did
That's
she get
something
any
we're gonna
dislike?
watch.
Was there one dislike?
Oh, that's a good question.
Stop it, Karen. No touching.
Oh, let's see.
So I'm curious. I want to know if there's a negative commenter on her video and how that's responded to.
From what I've seen on my own, I haven't seen any negatives.
I haven't either.
I think everybody is just in shock right now, like, because no one got to really see the original video because she immediately deleted it when she started getting bad comments. So I don't know, but then Myona, she got a video, like a snippet of her video. So I don't know, but from what I've seen, she hasn't had any negative ones. Because I don't think if someone says something negative, I think they would probably be in the same category as her, in a way. So I don't think there would be any negativity, or at least if there were and they were thinking it, they ain't gonna write it down. They're not gonna put it on social media.
Wow.
Because this can really, like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Because there was like another video of a woman attacking another, because a woman was speaking Spanish, and the woman came up to her and said, "You're in America, you need to speak English."
Oh yeah, watch that video.
Yeah, and it's like the woman that was attacking them, she's all over like social media now. And that, it's like, why, since you did that, social media is everywhere, and this will affect your life in a negative light. So you're going to get what's coming to you. I don't feel bad. Like, especially I saw the little apology, and it's like, it's a little too late. The first video that's what you really meant. You really meant that. So don't go back. Yeah, don't go back and try to apologize. It's not going to happen. I wanted to comment on her video so bad, but I was like, I do not accept your apology. I'm sorry. I will not. I cannot.
I'm not going to waste my time with you.
Yeah, and it's like, you said what you had to say. You meant it. So it's like, I mean this. Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
I think what she's trying to do is hope that some of her followers don't see Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And that she can do that. There's that one girl that made that horrible video about why she hates diversity, and she still has a BookTube channel as far as I know. And she's been invited to like news stuff. Like, she's been invited to fancy stuff before from like the right, like the far right. I don't remember what you call it, alt-right. She's been able to do stuff for them, and it's like, okay. Okay.
Not really something to be proud about, but
I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. If I feel like, because I want to do a discussion video, and I really want to see like what the reactions I'm going to get from it, to be honest. Because I don't know. I think everybody has their opinion, and that's fine. But don't blatantly attack people, because you don't. And the thing is, she didn't even have to say names. We know who she was talking about. I know I was one of the people she was talking about, because because there's a big there was a video where the girl, she pretty much, we need to start a movement. I forget what her name was, and she had pretty much tagged us all, like, and put a list together of all Black booktubers. And then from then on, it sort of like escalated. And then it came about with the issue that was happening with the Hate U Give and the people that were chosen as the extra. I think it was just, and people did those videos, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
I think it must have been like a week ago. I just started watching them on like Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was on like a binge watch for the past 2 days. I was watching all of the videos. I did film ones from like a year or two ago where those people have actually left BookTube because their channel had never grew. And it's like, you look at their content, like you look at how put together everything was, like their thumbnails, their titles, the books that they were talking about. And it's like, wow, like it's sad that you find them after they've left.
Yeah. And I wish they didn't quit and they actually just spoke with how they felt, because I feel like maybe this wouldn't be happening. Maybe if somebody attacked the issue as soon as possible, maybe we could have found some type of resolution. But I know it's going to take a lot more than just videos. There's going to be time, like BookCon, for instance, and we did like a whole panel about that. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like, you know, we need to be on a big platform like a lot of these big booktubers are in order to actually get some type of effect to happen.
But you know what? I think there's a small booktube revolution that's been happening over like the past 6 or 7 months. And now the smaller people are starting to still enjoy the bigger booktube channels. Don't get me wrong. But they're starting to recognize that like there's more of a community than just 5 or 6 people. And they're hunting for small booktubers. I knew that last year. I did this not as a way to like ostracize the bigger booktubers, but as a way to start to connect with the smaller booktube community. Is I actually unfollowed anyone who had more than like 1,000 subscribers, except for my very, very favorites, because I wasn't going to abandon them. But the only way that I would be able to actually spend quality time with the people that were the small booktube community is if I limited the amount of people I was subscribed to. Now, after doing that for like 6 months, I went back and resubscribed to a lot of the people that I'd unsubscribed from, but I had built those relationships with the small booktubers.
And there was also like something going on where small booktubers seem to be more interactive than the big booktubers. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that the most popular ones, like people would comment and they won't like comment back, or they're not as interactive.
Well,
I know some of them probably have a lot of comments and they can't get to all of them. That's understandable. But I think I will say smaller booktubers, they do bring up that initiative to make, you know, comment back and have a conversation with the people that are subscribed, because I feel like you wouldn't have all these subscribers, you know. Especially if you're being interactive, you should at least give them something, you know, say hi or some type of something. Because I try to like comment on everything when people. I make sure, like, okay, I need to go and respond back. I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them, you know.
Or even just a simple like or a thumbs up, just to let them know that you are acknowledging them.
I do all three.
I'm the same way.
I'll even type up a little comment, be like, "Thank you."
And you know what too? It benefits you to do that, even if it takes time, because it boosts your analytics. You get credit for those likes.
I didn't even know that. All that number stuff, I don't even know how that all works.
You get credit for if you get dislikes. It's engagement. It counts. So if I get a dislike, I'm like, hey, you just boosted my engagement.
That's a positive way to do it. Oh man, I don't know. I'm really interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then with Christina Marie, I know she's been busy. I haven't really seen her post anything lately, because she's one of the top, actually the only Black booktuber that, you know, we saw at that BookCon picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was the whole issue too.
With that one, I didn't blow up because I thought that it was just like they posted and said everyone meet here. So I don't really know the details.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because if they just sent out a post and it just happened to be that she was the only one that saw it, then that's that. But I mean, if that wasn't the case and they intentionally selected certain people to be in the shoot, then that is weird.
I don't know. I do plan on going to BookCon. It would be nice to like have meet up or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't even know like the ticket thing. I don't think they have the tickets ready for, you know, that. I know like I'm following them on like Instagram, Twitter, and everything. So I don't even know how much the tickets are.
Last time I looked, they're like 200 something bucks.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. If I was going to choose, I would not do BookCon because you don't get to take home as many books, as far as I know. They only have select authors. I would do BEA so you can go home with the suitcase.
BEA around the same time? Isn't BEA around the same time? When is that?
I don't know, but I think that one takes place in like Chicago area or New York or something like that. And then the other one's on the other coast, like Nevada area. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Because I feel like all the cons happen in Nevada, but that might just be like Comic-Con.
You know what? I get so jealous when there's booktubers from New York and they have all these book events like every weekend.
I know. It's like you suck.
It's like you don't have to pay for a hotel or nothing. You just get to go.
That's not fair.
It's like I can't even go to the free one. Book That Fest. I can't go to that without paying $600 for
like, and there was one where they went to Epic Reads and they had all these arcs. I'm like, dang it.
Oh, I saw that too. I was so jealous.
I'm like, man. It seems like everything's happening in New York.
Not fair.
New York. It's been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. It's a I don't know words. Taylor.
It's not a live show until Heather sings.
That's bad singing. I could do much. Oh man. Hey, I am the fat lady. Does that mean it's over?
Oh, that's not nice.
Hey, I embrace the word fat. I'm like, I am
Me too.
fabulous. All
of this is fabulous.
I don't know what tenacious means, but we'll go with that. What is tenacious? Google. Okay, let's find out.
If I could just get arcs and everything, I would be happy, and I would have some money.
Here's the definition.
Yes.
Just tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely.
Okay.
Okay.
Persistent in existence, not easily dispelled. Oh, I guess I am tenacious. Synonyms that are easier for normal people like me to understand. Persistent, determined, strong-willed, tireless, I don't know how to say that word. Indefectible. Like, who would use that? I am indefectible. Steadfast, untiring, unwavering, unswerving, unshakable, unyielding, insistent, and dogged. All right.
That reminds me, how is like the parody going?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, if either of y'all want to be in it, I added y'all already.
Huh?
I added both of you to it, right?
Yeah, I think so. You said that you had to get back with us and see who's all gonna like join in or whatever.
I'm just giving people until Monday, so I'll know tomorrow morning, and then we can split up parts and see if
I
anybody
love that song.
loves or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I've got the lyrics right here. Yep. The one I never know how to get the speed right. But my favorite part is the part I'm going to do.
Oh.
Yeah. My favorite part is the one, I don't remember which Spice Girl it was, but it's the fast part. And it's like, so here's the parody version. Okay. So here's the story from A to Z. You want to make me pleased, you got to listen carefully. The lovers in the book should want more than looks. The MCs won't let our burst the thing when holding fuss don't come for free. And as for sass, how you'll see. And it's like a joke.
Yay!
Everyone
Spice
always
Girls were literally the first concert I ever went to.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I love the Spice Girls too. I think they were so cute, and
Yes.
what they wore and everything, and their names was definitely nice.
Yes.
Florida Spice and Gin Spice. I don't know the rest of them. I don't know. I didn't even know that many before I was looking at doing the parody. I was like, I don't remember what they're called. I remember Baby Spice and Sporty Spice, and that was it. It's like, I don't even remember.
See, I personally was a fan of Ginger, so I was a Ginger Spice person.
I like all of them.
And then she broke up the band.
They were all different.
No. Imagine if they were still around, though. Like, what would that music look like?
Oh, God.
Man, I don't know if anybody would like them.
I don't know.
I feel like music has evolved so much.
Yeah, like even Almost Single Ladies is old now.
And then the group thing, everybody breaks up. Like
Backstreet Boys is the only one that's still together. They're good. They just came out with a new song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have it on my Spotify, but I don't want her to get hit for whatever you call it, where they demonetize it.
Oh, yeah.
I won't play that. But...
Whew, this has been really fun.
Yep.
Yeah, this
It's an hour
was.
and a half, so if you need to stop the live, it's fine.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I definitely have to get out and get some dinner, so. But yeah, this was fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the kids to bed.
Oh.
I got one being destructive and the other just doesn't want to sit still.
Thanks for joining me, and thanks for hosting this on your channel.
No problem. We need to do this again. This is fun.
I'm telling you. Well, you said
do.
you might want to reread the Hate You Give, so I'm down.
Yeah, I'm
I
down.
really liked that book, and I feel like it's going to be different the second time around.
Yeah.
Because I kind of followed it with the cop. Because this was like the beginning of my journey. You know what I mean? Changing the worldview patterns. So I feel like it'll be really interesting to read it a second time and be like seeing things right away. Because like they didn't mention that it was a poem until like the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, okay.
And I have
definitely down
to
with
go
that.
see the movie this weekend too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm so
that's
excited
yes.
about it.
I heard
Oh,
like
I was watching the
it was
preview
really
for
good,
it.
so I'm definitely excited to see
Yeah.
it.
Well, it has KJ Apa in it. And he plays Archie on Riverdale.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just that one guy.
Black hair. I don't like it.
He has black hair in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie. Yeah, I was like, he should just kept his red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm current with Riverdale, and it's like really getting really good. It's always been good, but it's getting really crazy now.
Yeah. There's not a season 3 yet, though, right?
They just started it.
Okay, so
oh,
it's
really?
Yeah, they have like 2 or 3 episodes now.
Oh, good. That means it'll be on Netflix in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Awesome.
You know, Netflix is slow, so
Yeah.
sometimes I have to go back and forth with Netflix and Hulu.
Oh, I'm the same way.
I just now got the Hulu, and I did it for a trial because I wanted to watch that show called Younger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I got it for that, and then I saw that Shadowhunters was on there, and now I'm like, okay, $11.99 a month.
That's the reason why I signed up too, Heather, so it's okay.
And it's so funny. It's because like the first 9 episodes, it was so cringy because like the actors would not blink. And
I
like,
know! Oh my god!
You need to blink. Do it.
Yes! Come
And then after
on!
the 9th episode, they started blinking. So I guess at that point, they probably got like approved for a new season. Thank you for blinking.
I'm still waiting on my Game of Thrones.
Oh gosh, I'm only on season 4.
What?
My friend let me use her HBO password, and then it was expensive, and she had already watched them all twice at least. So then she was so nice. She's like, "Are you okay if I cancel my subscription? It's like $20 a month." And I was like, "Well, dude, you're the one paying it. Yeah, I'll just binge watch it."
No!
I told her, I said, "I know that you'll get it again." So I will just wait and I will binge watch. And then you will be the one there only getting like one episode at a time. And I will be the one who has season. I don't know though. Do you get it all at once?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, then she'll be the one having to like hold her tongue and not tell me spoilers.
Yeah, it says I literally watched the whole, because I didn't start watching it until like 2016, and I literally finished the whole, like I think the 4 or 5 season they had in like a week, because it's really addicting, and it really is a Game of Thrones. Because the first season, Khal Drogo was my man.
Oh gosh.
The only thing I did not like is the whole slavery and
yeah.
It's a lot.
Hi.
You're not my mom.
How they?
You're not my mom.
No.
You're not my mommy.
She knows that.
No, you're not my mom.
And you
I am not.
You're not my mommy.
Your mama. Da. Da, your mama. Yes, I am your mommy.
I am your mommy.
Apparently, I know like 39 words now, and that's a sentence. Yes, I'm your mom. or Niet. Ne. To. Mama. There we go. I'm not your mommy.
Oh God. Well, I guess this is it.
All right.
I had
We got to
fun.
do this
I
again.
did too.
Well,
She was so
I hope you all have a good night, and we'll do this again soon.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Brandy.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Bye, hon.